Timeout's
Right.
just like, yeah, pull the plug. You have no fun, no nothing.
No, nothing.
It's like a jail, like where you're put in
Pretty much.
solitary confinement.
Yeah.
You do something bad, you're in this black box.
This
Can't
is the
see anything, can't do
consequence.
anything. Yes.
Right. Right.
Hey everyone, welcome to another Don't Do That, James episode. We're the hosts. My name is MJ.
My name is Adam.
And today, everyone, we have a wonderful topic for everyone today, given to us by one of our members supporting us on the YouTube channel. What is that, you think? It's not just a subscription. You can join us as a member on our YouTube channel where you give us a little change here and there to help support me and Adam make our days even brighter with all of your support. And one thing you get in return, if you jump on that second step support tier, is you can tell us what you want us to talk about. Today, we'll be talking about a wonderful topic given to us from Motoka. They say, "Hi, I would like you to talk about how to discipline a child in North America. For example, I hear there is a practice called time out, which is used when children misbehave and parents try to correct them. Parents in Japan don't use timeouts, but kick children out of the house." Whoa. But nowadays, such ways are becoming old-fashioned because strict discipline is sometimes to be seen as violent or seen as being too violent. Okay, please tell me your ideas. Give me your thoughts. Thank you so much for supporting Motoka, and thank you for giving us this great idea of what to talk about. And hopefully everyone thinks this is interesting because me and Adam do. So let's jump into it.
All right.
Child discipline. And Motoka made a good, example, gave us a good example of timeouts. So I think this is a very common way that a lot of people in the US can kind of discipline their child if they do something bad. But there's definitely an age range of how to discipline your child. And, when they're very young, there's different things that you can do, actions, behaviors that you do can help them change. But then at some point, maybe when they just stop listening, they're more in the toddler area age, or even after, you could give them a timeout. So Adam, what do you think about this this timeout thing? Do you think it was used for like really young kids? Do you think it works? Have you been put in timeout? How many times?
I probably have been put in timeout quite a bit when I was a child.
Yeah.
Whether it works or not, I think there's timeout and then there's the go to your room factor, which is kind of like an extended version of timeout. But at a certain point, go to your room becomes get out of jail free, because your room is like your place.
Sanctuary.
Exactly. That's the word I was looking for. Your sanctuary. It's the place where everything is stored. If you have video games. I had a TV in my room when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like
magazines,
like, toys.
You got a phone. Yeah.
A phone. So it is a sanctuary, and go to your room can be like, okay, fine, I'm going to go to my room.
Yeah. It's better than being here.
Exactly.
Getting, yelled at by mom and dad.
So timeout is good because it, in a sense, I don't want to say it's like the best, but if the child is able to understand the reason why he or she, they need to be, taken away from what is causing them to act out. This is weird because right now, like, I go through the whole idea that the way children are disciplined, it needs to change in a sense. Like, timeout always felt like a top-down, like, I'm the boss, you listen to me, go over there, go in the corner, timeout.
Yeah.
Where you're telling the kid what to do.
It's definitely showing power,
Showing power, showing authority. The child has to listen to you and sit there, and like, the whole interaction between timeout in North America is always, it starts off with a shouting match. The parent is kind of stressed with the child. The only thing they can think of is go sit there in the corner, time out, think about why you're there.
Yeah.
But as a child, you don't really understand. I don't think it's good if the child doesn't understand why they're getting a timeout, and I don't think it's
Okay.
good if the parent is using it as a way to control their child
Yes.
without giving them a reason. Because you're just making the child fear you as a
Yeah. Right.
And this
So
is
now,
something that I've learned recently.
hey, did you know we have a website? Maybe we talked about it before. We have a website. You can become a Next Step community member, which gives you downloads of our videos and audio format so you can listen like a podcast to all of our episodes. And you can talk with us during Zoom chats every day, live streams on Facebook where I explain different words and phrases that me and Adam use naturally in those every day. So it's really cool stuff. Embrace English even more, the fun of it. And hey, if you want to improve your English to the next step, join me one-on-one English lessons where we can talk and I can help improve your English conversation. Little by little, let's do this. Yeah. I think it goes deep because think about how long have people been raising kids? How long have those kids been doing bad things or not listening to their parents or their superiors? And what was a superior? Like when we were living in caves as cavemen, what would happen? Maybe the kid got killed, you know? Okay, that was bad. Then they're like, let's stop killing the kids.
We need these kids.
We're the civilization is growing a little better. We're getting smarter. And then what it turns into kind of violence and they're hitting, right? And even for us, you know, I think we were in an age where maybe hitting was still seen maybe to be a little more common, frowned upon, definitely, but still it happened. So that was like a way to discipline.
Right.
Okay. So as we evolve, so does the way we can discipline and, you know, show the children what they're doing wrong and help them and correct it. So it has turned into timeout, which you're saying like, no, it's not good. So it can be not good, like you're saying, specifically if the child doesn't know why they're there. But I definitely think it's better than getting beaten, right? So that's the evolution. Hopefully in the future it will turn into something new. The evolution of timeout that I've seen, and possibly it works, it goes along the lines that you were talking about. Instead of a timeout, it's called thinking chair. Where the child goes to a chair or a certain place and it's their time to think about what they did that was wrong and why they're there, pretty much. So it is totally focused on the problem. And it's like, this is why you're here. That's why it's the thinking chair, not just time out. Time out's just like, pull the plug. You have no fun, no nothing. It's like a jail, like where you're put in solitary confinement. You do something bad, you're in this black box.
This
can't
is the
see anything, can't do anything. But nobody likes that.
This is the consequence of you not listening to me, who I'm the boss. So then I think like going through the steps of evolution and going through, you know, child psychology and human development, like we're grown to or raised to follow whoever has the most authority, whereas the new way is like you have to think for yourself and think what your actions will do to other people around you as a child. And I feel that gives a child more responsibility, whereas probably for people in our generation, MJ and I, we're like, okay, the boss tells us to do something, we do it without thinking about it because that person's the boss. Where these children will be like, okay, let me think now because what I'm doing has this kind of consequence. So they have more freedom of choice, freedom of thought in a weird way. I think but no matter how you discipline the children, you'll see the outcomes from both ends of someone who is put in timeout or who is, you know, like
maybe even like hit by their parents, maybe
Right.
even if it's not severe, but
Right.
something they do really bad, they maybe get spanking, like not so sure. But you could see both sides of where they grow up to be someone who listens to authority, or they could be the complete opposite and
Opposite, yeah.
rebel
Yeah.
against it.
Right.
Same goes for someone where they have parents who are super nice and open, and they never hit them, they never put them in timeout. It's just
Right.
like, you do what you want to do,
Willy-nilly.
almost giving too much freedom,
Right.
to where then they can either have like the correct mindset to make the right choices, or
Right.
the humane choices kind of,
Mm-hmm.
or
Take advantage.
and kind of
Right.
rebel in a
Right.
weird way,
Yeah.
and go a little crazy. So it's really hard to say what works best, but in terms of what I've seen in Japan compared to North America, I
Yeah.
feel it's almost the same. Like Motoko mentioned, people possibly getting kicked out of houses. So, I mean, that happens in North America too.
Right.
I think, depending again on the parents, on the situation, what they did, what the kids did that was so bad,
Right.
then people could be sent out like, you're not my child anymore. Like
Right.
very, very severe things
Yeah.
Can occur, again, depending on what the child did.
Right.
But in Japan, like, I don't know. I've never seen timeouts. I could only assume everyone's human. So I assume that the same frustration possibly going to violence can happen anywhere. Maybe it's not so common, but definitely think it can happen. Sadly, there's news that we've seen in Japan where parents will neglect their children, child dies, something bad happens. Of course, that happens in the US too. That's going to happen all around the world.
All around,
This is a really deep topic.
It is.
Child discipline and
there's
what works, but
you can only know when the child grows up if they are fine with who they are as a person, and there's nothing in their minds that tells them that they can or can't do anything, like they don't limit themselves. Psychologically, it does have a huge impact if the child's always fearful of their parents. They won't want to tell them things that are bugging them. They don't want to communicate with their parents, because of the way their parents treated them or disciplined them, seen as strict. Like, I don't want to do what I'm doing right now for a job, for example, but if I tell my parent, my dad is gonna be disappointed, and that's the one thing your child doesn't want to be, is disappointed.
Yes.
By their parents.
But everyone, that's it for this episode. Just wanted to leave you all with, I guess, that question. But really, nobody knows. The one thing that we do know, actually, is that whatever happens to the child will happen because of the surroundings while they were growing up, which is usually their parents, if they're there, or maybe if they're not there. So no matter how you discipline them, for good or worse, this is a human that we're creating. And hopefully, we kind of take an open eye at it and a calm tone to the whole thing. I think everyone can work on it, me included, about like relaxing ourselves and understanding that, like, really, how bad is this situation?
Right.
In the whole span of your life and the child's life, the whole grand scheme of things, does this need to be so severe?
Right.
And I think for most cases, it doesn't need to be.
In most
That's
cases.
it. Most cases. Everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you, Motoka, for supporting us on the YouTube channel. If you guys want to do that, hit that join button next to the subscribe channel. It would help us tremendously. If you want to go to the next step, check out our website down below. There is a bunch of cool stuff. You can become a Next Step community member, which means you can download video and audio episodes, hang out live streaming with me every morning, hang out with me, Adam, and the other members every month. Or, hey, guess what? You can go on one-on-one English lessons with me, chat, and we can talk about things. It's a great way to improve your natural communication skills. So check it out if you're interested. It would help us out a lot. Thank you.
And of course, if you want to hit us up on SNS We have all of them. Twitter, don't do Twitter, but we have Twitter. Facebook, where you can watch MJ's lives and, join the lives if you're a Next Step member. Instagram and TikTok. Check out Instagram for, more English content throughout the week. Everyone wants to do more, so check out Instagram. Like, comment, and subscribe on all the channels, and let us know what you think about every episode, every day you watch it.
Yes. Thank you all so much. Yes, all those comments help and those likes.
It does.
That's it for this episode. We'll see you on the next step.